What up, Dokkaners? So apologies for the late video. I got home from work late today and I wanted to make this quick little follow-up to my previous video regarding the anniversary and all that stuff. Everyone's already beaten this to death in terms of like what we are expecting. A lot of people think superhero, Dragon Ball Super Broly, Realm of Gods. That's pretty much the area that we're predicting. But there's one more detail that I didn't mention in my other videos on it that I wanted to discuss here because it's a pretty important one and people have already been talking about it on social media. So I figured might as well chime in and give my own thoughts. And it all stems around this post right here. So we've got the 2 live streams that are scheduled, and on it, we've got this Goku asset. So that is basically what this video is going to be about. And that's pretty much it. So before we jump in though, I would like to say, if you guys have not already done so, check out the second channel. JP Dokkaners, you guys are eating good right now because of the 9-year anniversary. Global players, things might be a little bit on the slow side for a little while. So while you're bored potentially, or while you're wondering what to do while link leveling or saving your stones, definitely check out the second channel because we are in full swing on the second channel. We are going to be adding new content very, very soon. I'm going to be starting my live streams on the second channel. We've already covered 3 games. The 4th one is about to end soon. So make sure you guys check it out. Jump on board because I will be doing a ton of content on this moving forward. Just as much, well, not as much as Dokkan, but I will be putting in a lot of work on this one. So make sure you guys subscribe to Rami today. I'll put a link in the pinned comment. It's already in the description of all my videos, but definitely give it a sub. I'd really appreciate it. trying to hit 10,000 subscribers on the second channel. So it has to do with the Goku, right? The Goku asset, if you can already tell, this, I pretty much think this confirms superhero, to be honest. And the reason why, I was originally skeptical when I saw this floating around social media because I would think that they like to just use Goku assets because Goku is the main character, right? It's kind of like when all your different Dokkan creators are using various thumbnails for certain things. Link leveling, you put a picture of Gogeta in there. Why? Because Gogeta sells, Gogeta promotes clicks while doing something mundane and minuscule like link leveling. So same sort of thing. Mario is always on the Nintendo propaganda. So you'll always see Goku on the Dragon Ball stuff because Goku is, you know, he's box office. So that was my original idea when approaching this theory that people were saying. And then I looked into it further and there is some precedent. So I went back to previous streams, which was also a fun little treat to just see the evolution of my thumbnails before I actually had people making them. I made some pretty stupid thumbnails further down in the bottom, but then yeah, so starting from like 6-year anniversary all the way up, I was trying to pull up the different assets for those. Also, I'm very proud of this. I made this BroCon now. If you're ever bored, just go through some of my older streams. They're funny, they're cringe, and you can kind of see how the channel has evolved. So anyway, I have put together all of the different thumbnails to take a look at. So this is the 9-year. So we'll come back to this one, but now we're looking at the 8-year anniversary. So the 8-year anniversary had the fan meetup. So this one's a bit of a different scenario than the other ones preceding it, but this one does have 2 thumbnails to look at. So the first one was, well, actually no, the first one was this, right? So here there was a conversation regarding the belt of Goku. This was obviously the end of Z, but some people, myself included, also thought of end of GT because after he like assimilates himself into what is the actual term, like he becomes one with Shenron, he becomes a guardian or something, like he's taking a stroll down like the tournament lane and you see old Pan see him. You know, this kind of made me think of that. Turned out that it kind of was appropriate for both, right? End of Z and end of GT, because it ended up being both. So this asset definitely related to the 8-year anniversary. Then if we go to the campaign preview stream, it was Goku doing the Spirit Bomb, which again, I mean, this isn't exactly like, when you look at this exact image, this doesn't fit into like the context of the anime per se, but the theme is very much easily readable from this. So again, it relates to the anniversary. And if we obviously look, it was obviously Spirit Bomb themed. Then if we go back to 7-year, 7-year had Goku and Vegeta. Now, this is obviously not Goku Vegeta Blue. This is not Goku Vegeta Super Saiyan 4, but this does relate to the 7-year anniversary because number 1, it's the free-to-play unit, just like for 8-year, it's the free-to-play unit, but also it pertains to Goku and Vegeta working together. And this is what they used for the preview. So the pattern of the assets relating to the anniversary still very much holds, as we see during the 7-year anniversary. I even went back to 6-year, where the asset for some reason was fuzzy, and it's Ultra Instinct Goku, again, the free-to-play unit. This was obviously the theme for the celebration because it was completely Tournament of Power. We go back even further. No, that's it. That's all I went. I figured that was enough, right? 6, 7, 8, 9. That's all that we need. So if we look at the 9-year anniversary thumb, this Goku looks familiar. And if you're wondering why it looks familiar, it's because it looks like this Goku right here, this Goku right here. It's not drawn in the exact same style, but it very much is the same pose. And that is why, Minato, I'm 100% on board with what you're saying. There's no way it's not superhero. Superhero has to be involved in some form or fashion. And Goku does nothing in that movie. Goku and Vegeta are off in their own little adventure sparring. That is not anniversary worthy material. It's gonna be Beast Gohan. So I feel like at this point, this soft confirms Beast Gohan. So, you know, this is not me saying that it's 100% confirmed. This is me giving my theory and my reasoning behind it. But I think a lot of people are now getting on board with the idea. And this also definitely plays into the theory that I mentioned with the teasers being 5 days apart as opposed to 7 days apart. There is still room for another teaser to drop. Because remember, when we take a look at this, we have 7-day gaps between teaser 1 and 2 for 8-year, and then the fan meetup was about 7 days later. For the 9-year anniversary, it's been a 5-day gap. Teaser 1, Battle of Gods. Teaser 2, Resurrection F. Teaser 3 will likely take place on the 15th, and then the fan meetup would be on the 21st. So basically 5 to 6 days apart. So if superhero is the theme, like we are more and more thinking, then this would not be a teaser. This would be the final reveal during this. So it works. Question is now, in my opinion, will Dragon Ball Super Broly be involved at all, or is it exclusively going to be superhero? If it is exclusively going to be superhero, is there enough villain power to go around? There wouldn't be. So I think what would probably, like if we were to just shape it as an exclusively superhero celebration, well actually, let me just write this out. If it's just superhero, part 1 would be Beast Gohan and Mix. Part 2 would be Gamma 1, Gamma 2, or maybe I mean, they're not villains. Who else? There's no other villain. Magenta? There's no way they make Magenta a Dokkan Festival LR or a Carnival LR. Right? There's no way. Maybe they do. Would they drop another Piccolo? I mean, look, we're just gonna put it as a placeholder. Piccolo and then Gamma 1 and 2, right? Or they could do a Gamma 1 and 2 Dokkan Fest. And then they would do, man, and then a Gamma 1 into 2 Final Strike, like Carnival. I don't know. Like in terms of villains, there just really isn't anything. So that's why I still think that a part 1, part 2 like combination works, because when you do this, again, back to my original theory about like fusions versus separate, we still need to meet that fusion quota. That's not in here. So part 1 or part 2 being superhero, where the other one is like Dragon Ball Super Broly, really works with everything that we've discussed. So that's all I wanted to mention. I think that it is definitely a significant thing to note. And also, I did take the extra step to try to look into these like licensing things, and this isn't anything. I thought that there might be something to it, because like B/S, that's Bird Studio / Shueisha. T, I think, is Toriyama. Shout out to Proton, who helped kind of go through this with me. BNEI is Bandai Namco, right? So I was looking at the licensing on each of these images, and they're all essentially the same, except for 6-year, which I was a little confused about, because for 6-year, if you can see there in tiny letters, let me zoom in, there's an F right there. So I was trying to figure out what that was and why. It doesn't matter because 9-year doesn't even have it. So I was trying to use that as a way to like try to figure out if there was going to be anything else that we need to worry about. Because when it comes to Dragon Ball Super Broly, when it comes to Dragon Ball Super Superhero, there is special licensing that is required at all times when they celebrate those things or acknowledge those things. Like if we take a look back, what is it, to 2018, 2019, whenever we had Dragon Ball Super Broly, notice how during these banners or in these banners, you don't see any sort of like small text around it. But if you go to Dragon Ball Super Broly, they have to put this in there because it's like licensed stuff, right? So if you go to Superhero, you will see the same thing under Superhero. So where's the New Year's stuff? Well, you can see it right, like right here. Movie campaign part 2. Look at that. You've got the little licensing stuff up there. So one argument could be made like this is not in the Dragon Ball Super Superhero style, art style. It's probably because they don't want to have that stuff shown. So maybe they had it redrawn in the context of like non-licensed styling. I don't know. I'm not a legal head. I don't know all that stuff, but that is one way to explain why this Goku does have the same pose as the superhero Goku, why it doesn't maybe look exactly like it. So I tried to look into that. I thought I was onto something. I thought I was smart. Turns out I'm not. Who's surprised? So there you go. That is my follow-up on the Dragon Ball Super superhero theory. Beast Gohan, in my opinion, is now coming based on all of this. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Leave in the comments, what do you think about this added detail? Did you pick up on this before? Were you already thinking all of this because of the things that I just mentioned? Or do you think that there is still more that needs to be revealed? Do you think that this is not damning evidence that superhero is still on the way? Let me know your thoughts, your reasonings in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let each know I'm going to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and remember to Dokkan responsibly.